NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine recently visited our OETA studios for an in-depth conversation about America's evolving role in space and how it has once again become a national priority. I began part 2 of our interview by asking him about a new space race, this one with China.
NASA doesn't do national security and defense. We do exploration, science, and discovery. But I will tell you, we have a keen interest in making sure that space is secure. Not all of the people in the world that are space explorers are interested in doing it for peaceful purposes. China has called space the American Achilles heel. Imagine this, Rich. Every banking transaction in the United States of America is dependent on a timing signal from GPS. You lose your timing signal from GPS and there is no banking in the United States of America. There's no milk in the grocery store if that happens. This is an existential threat to our country.
For the first time, China has landed a vehicle on the far side of the moon. And while that concerns Bridenstine, he's quick to emphasize America's superiority in space.
What I would tell you is this. The United States of America has landed on the far side of Mars. And we've done it now 8 times in human history. So it's important to keep in perspective how far ahead we are.
I, James Bridenstine, do solemnly swear.
I, James Bridenstine, do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Bridenstine is the first Oklahoman and first politician to lead NASA. He was sworn in on April 23, 2018, by Vice President Mike Pence after serving 5 years in the U.S. House of Representatives. As a congressman, you're a conservative Republican, and it appears that your opinion of global warming has changed dramatically. Is that accurate?
There was an amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act that said we need to study how does the Department of Defense deal with climate change. And of course, all of the Democrats were for the amendment and all of the Republicans were against the amendment, except for 2 Republicans on the Armed Services Committee, and I was one of them. The reason I did it is I'm a Navy pilot by trade. I have seen firsthand that the Arctic ice that used to be there is not there anymore, which means the Navy is having to defend territory we never used to have to defend. And in fact, the enemies of the United States are operating in territories where they never used to be able to operate. NASA's job is to figure out what's happening and why. And that is what we still have a lot to learn. Here's what we know. Carbon dioxide is in fact a greenhouse gas. We've put more of it into the atmosphere than ever before, therefore we are at least partially responsible for the climate change that we are seeing. Well, what we're seeing is a greening of the Earth. If the Earth greens, that has a cooling effect. It just lags behind the warming effect of carbon dioxide. There is one agency on the face of the planet that can do more to help us understand the sources and the feedback mechanisms to all of the changing we're seeing on the Earth, and that agency is NASA. I will tell you, and this is important, Rich, what we don't do as an agency is we don't get involved in telling policymakers what to do about what we learn. Because if we do that, we do become political, we become partisan.
What was partisan was Bridenstine's confirmation process to become NASA's 13th administrator.
I believe that Representative Bridenstine's failure to accept fundamental scientific truths about Earth's climate will make him an ill-suited and dangerous choice.
Nonetheless, he was chosen on a party-line vote 50-49 for a job that he never sought, but is now very honored to have.
And my staff came in and they said, hey, did you know you're being considered for, it was actually Secretary of the Air Force or NASA Administrator. And I said, no, I had no idea. I feel very fortunate that this came out of nowhere, and in my view, it wasn't something I was seeking.
The Jenks native serves at the pleasure of the president. If the administration changes next November, Bridenstine's future may change too. But for now, he is focused on the amazing medical advances that can only be achieved in space.
We are proving that we can print human organs in 3D. And if you tried to do that in the gravity well of Earth, the tissue just goes flat. But in microgravity, it's a lot like the womb. In microgravity, you can grow human tissue in a way that it is suspended and it doesn't go flat. The human retina, we can use advanced materials to create an artificial human retina so that if you have macular degeneration, you don't have to lose your eyesight. These are capabilities that we cannot generate here on Earth. We talk about advanced materials, very pristine fiber optics, for example, that can be manufactured at a fraction of the cost of what a fiber optic network would cost if you built it here on Earth.
Bridenstine is also pushing hard for private companies like Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin to make space tourism a reality.
I think it's fantastic, and NASA supports it fully. Remember, we are going to the International Space Station commercially. We're buying a service. What does that mean? That means we need them to get customers that are not NASA. Space tourism is a piece of that. I will tell you right now, there are people that are willing to pay hundreds of thousands, in fact millions of dollars, to actually go on vacation to space. It's pretty exciting.
And just one more reason why this decorated Navy fighter pilot has embraced a desk job.
This is a dream job. It is absolutely a dream. I never anticipated it, but certainly I feel very, very blessed for the grace God has given me to have this opportunity.
You know, just a few quick notes about Bridenstine's career as a pilot. He's flown combat missions in Iraq and Afghanistan, racking up 1,900 flight hours and 333 aircraft carrier landings. And he also flew F-18s at the Naval Strike and Air Warfare Center, parent command to Top Gun.